Ronnie, were you always a heavy lifter?
Yeah, you know what? I was always strong. Even when I was in high school, I was real strong. I was squatting. I was squatting 500 in high school. You know, and I remember doing 450 in a meet for sure, and I think I almost got to 500, real close to it. But I was real strong in high school. I was real strong when I went to college. I still worked out, even though I wasn't able to work out as often as I would like to. I still worked out. And then there was always the summertime where I was working out every single day, you know, because I didn't have no school or nothing, and didn't have no practice or nothing. So I work out every single day, and I kept a real good training regimen then too. And so I was doing bodybuilding and powerlifting at the same time. So I was always deadlifting and squatting, you know, real heavy, you know, because you know, like I said, I had this I'm just naturally strong. So, you know, everything that I did, I was real strong at it. I was benching 500 for reps, squatting. I mean, I squatted, you know, 600, even I think. When I was amateur, I was squatting 600 for reps. And deadlifting 600 for reps and stuff like that. Easy.
I remember seeing videos of you where you just go real heavy, like squats and stuff like that.
Yep, squats and dumbbells and everything. I was strong on all the movements pretty much. Back, you know, I was strong on back. I would do bent over rows, 500 pounds on that. And T-bar rolls, I would do like as much weight as we can put on the bar.
You think that helped you grow and to become?
Oh yeah, for sure. That helped out a lot. That helped me get a lot of thickness and a lot of size. Get, you know, a lot bigger and bigger. Because when I first started competing, I was 215. When I turned pro. You know, when I won my 7th Olympia, I was 296, almost 300 pounds. So I went from 215 almost 300.
How do your family react when you got so big?
I mean, I don't think, it was like a gradual thing. So it wasn't like one day I was 215, next day I was 300 and 15, you know. So it was like, I'm getting bigger year by year, so you couldn't really see a whole lot of size come on me at one time. So I didn't really see it myself, you know. All I saw every year, you know, I just get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I do remember the first time I hit 300 because I couldn't bend over. I couldn't bend over and hardly tie my shoes. And walking upstairs was a chore the first time I hit it. But after a while, I got, you know, used to it, and it was just like I could.
What is it easy for you to be a professional bodybuilder and also maintain a family and kind of like balance it all?
It was really easy for me, and I think the reason why is my family supported me like 100%. I mean, they were there, you know, doing everything for me. They would help clean my house, clean my cars. My mom was cooking all my food. My sister was helping me with, you know, fan stuff, pictures and all this kind of stuff. So my family supported me 100% from day one. I remember my first show, my mom was sitting in the audience. My whole family actually was sitting in the audience, and they supported me from day one. My first show until I retired, you know, they were all there at my last show. And they've always been right there for me, and that made it real easy for me. My daughters, you know, they were always here helping me out too, you know. So it made it really easy for me because I had that support.
How do you feel about bodybuilding after you retired?
Well, it seemed like they got a lot easier than when we had it. I mean, when I was competing, we only had like a few shows here and there, and now they got like 20, 30 shows they can go to, you know, and qualify for the Olympia. When I was competing, we had like 4 or 5 shows, you know, that you can only go to and qualify for the Olympia. Now they got all these shows, and, you know, they got all these different ways of making money, all these endorsements, you know, that they can do and
It
stuff.
was harder back then to make money, right? It was harder back then.
It was a lot harder to make money back then. Like I said, you could only do like a few shows, you know, get qualified for the Olympia. Now, like I said, they got like 15, 20 shows they can go to and get qualified for the Olympia. And you can make a lot more money, you know, by going to all these shows too.
Many people that I talk to tell me that your physique is unbeatable of all time. It's the best physique of all time. Would you agree with that statement?
I agree that they don't work out like I did. In order for me to obtain the physique that I had to train real hard and real heavy. And the guys now don't do what I did. You know, I did. You would rarely see me work on a machine. I mean, everything was when I was competing. I did like bench press, freestyle bench press, freestyle incline, freestyle decline. And then I would rarely do all these machines and stuff that they got now. And like I said, when I worked out hard and I worked out heavy, and I was still able to do a lot of reps when I went heavy. So now they got all these different machines.
It's not the same. It's not the same as free weights.
No, it's not the same. Trust me. You got to balance everything out yourself, and they got all these different kind of angles they can hit stuff from with these machines, all these different machines, and you know they don't work out hard and they don't work out heavy. And everybody's scared they're gonna get hurt and they're gonna get injured and all this, and that's the trend now. You know, so you're gonna have a different physique when you work out like that.
You mentioned to me that it was basically a hobby at first. So how did it change for you becoming so determined to be the best in the world?
Well, it got to the point where, like I said, you know, I worked full-time police department, and you know, I had full health, full dental, and life insurance and everything, and I didn't need any other income. You know, I didn't need bodybuilding for income because I had a job working for the police department. So bodybuilding was kind of like a hobby because I made all my money working for the police department.
But how did it change for you to be determined to? How did it change from that to
well, I got to the point where I started winning the Olympia, and then I got all these requests to travel all over the world and make all these appearances where then I couldn't work for the police department. I could no longer work for the police department, so I had to rely on bodybuilding. And that aspect, it's no longer a hobby when you're relying on it to pay bills. You know.
Talk about the, you know, obviously you had a lot of rivalries in bodybuilding. First it was Flex, I guess Sean Ray, and then it was Jay Cutler. Talk about those rivalries and like what,
you know what?
Make you work harder.
People, for the most part, people always call it that, but I never looked at it like that. I was always like, man, if I can get myself in this kind of shape, nobody can touch me. You know, I ain't worried about what they're doing. I'm worried about, you know, what I need to do in the gym, and I can't worry about. I can't control, you know, how these other guys gonna look, but I can control how I'm gonna look. So if I lift a certain way and I diet a certain way, I can outlift these guys and I can outdiet these guys, and that way I can control what I look like. And as long as I can control what I look like, I'm not really worried about what they're doing because I know they can't outwork me. At least that's the mentality that I always had and I always thought, and for the most part, it kind of like worked out that way. Because like I said, I won all those Olympias and I was able to dominate for a long time in the sport.
You think there's ever going to be another Ronnie Coleman in this industry?
No, I think there's going to be whoever's winning at the time. Like, there's going to be a Phil Heath for a while, for a long time. Then there's going to be, I think the next guy coming up, I think it's going to be Ronnie, because he got that physique that some of them guys ain't going to be able to attain because he's so far ahead. And then I think it's going to be Ronnie, and, you know, everybody's gonna have their own era for the most part.